with a new look, Top Gear, we have changed everything. And to give you a taste of what you can expect over the coming weeks, we have prepared a little montage.
Tally ho, chaps. They're all over me!
At Twickenham for England!
We might actually just be in with a chance.
Let's do this for Carol Shelby. Come on!
You will find the source of the River Nile.
Here we are, ladies, at the bowling club.
Ooh, lovely. And stop. Oh, I am so on board. There's nobody driving.
The last to arrive will cross into Mexico. Hello, I've accidentally painted a gentleman's sausage on a storm drain.
Oh my.
Peter, well...
We haven't changed anything, have we?
No, not really. No, wait, I bought a new jacket. And you got some new shoes?
Yeah, I'm in my 50s now.
Yeah, James, to be fair, you were born in your 50s.
No, actually, to be honest, James turned 50 just last week. Yeah. Why are you applauding? No, why are you applauding? All he had to do to get to 50 is not die, and the speed he drives, that's not difficult.
Anyway, we have got a tremendous series coming up. Some amazing races, some incredible challenges, and, of course, some brilliant cars. And we start with the best of them all.
The Pagani Zonda is my favourite supercar. But it's been around for a decade now. And for the last few years, Pagani have been promising again and again that they'll replace it with a brand new car. And now, finally, they have. It's called the Huayra. It costs £800,000 and it has a top speed of 230 miles an hour.
The name Huayra comes from a South American god of wind. Probably not what you want to hear. What you do want to hear is that it has a 6-litre twin-turbo V12 made specially for it by AMG, which, once petrol is applied, makes 730 brake horsepower. And what you do want to hear and see is what that does. Seconds and then on into space. That's 180. That is savage. Savage thing. I can't get enough of that. We're going to do that again.
The drama isn't just restricted to the speed. Because inside the Huayra, it looks like a Victorian's idea of the 23rd century. And the detail is beyond obsessive. Every single nut and bolt is made from titanium. The name badge takes 24 hours to carve out from a solid piece of aluminium. Each wheel, also hewn from a single aluminium block, takes 5 days to make.
And look at this gear shifter. All the mechanism is exposed so you can see the workings. It's made of 67 different parts, all arranged just so you can hear that mechanical clunk of a gear being selected. You don't even need to use it. You could just use the paddles by the wheel, but they've put that there because it makes it more of an occasion.
This fanatical attention to detail goes on and on and on. Even the body is more high-tech than the one you'll find on a Formula One car.
It's made from carbotanium, and I even know what that means. Now somebody's told me. It's a blend of carbon fibre and titanium, which is incredibly light, but it's actually stiffer than carbon fibre and doesn't shatter when you crash, which makes things safer should you suddenly find all 730 bhp propelling you towards a hedge.
Not every element, though, is quite so cutting edge.
Pagani haven't gone with a fashionable twin-plate clutch that so many cars use today because they do make for faster changes. They've gone instead for a more traditional single-plate clutch because it's smaller and a whole 100 kilograms lighter.
In fact, the Huayra weighs just 1,350 kilograms and has a power-to-weight ratio of 541 brake horsepower per ton, which is more than you get from a Bugatti Veyron.
But where the Bugatti Veyron is four-wheel drive, this is only rear-wheel drive. And rather worryingly, we've now come to the part of the film where we must see what it's like going round corners. OK, now I understand the more infantile viewers, of which there are many, will now want to see me sliding the back end around. So, here goes.
Amazingly, you can corner this car like a half-wit and come out the other side alive. And that's because, in a Huayra, the black art of aerodynamics is watching over you.
You see those flaps on the outside? There's two at the back and two at the front. They measure how fast you're going and then deploy to keep everything stable. That's astonishing. Oh, to the backwards, I'm in love.
But the handling isn't all down to the magic flaps.
It doesn't feel big like a Lambo, and it's all been set up so well and made so stable that even I can corner it hard without hiding in the glove box whimpering. Oh, God, this is properly put together.
The Zonda was always going to be a difficult act to follow, but the Huayra has pulled it off. It drives better, it looks better, and it hasn't lost any of the drama. On top of that, it also has something that its main rivals, Ferrari and Lamborghini, no longer possess.
This car, and this might all get a bit culture show now, I know, has still got its innocence. Ferrari and Lamborghini haven't. One's owned by Audi, the other is a commercial machine for selling hats and key rings. Pagani is where those companies were 30 years ago. No corporate culture, no branded teddy bears. They just want to make a bedroom wall pin-up poster with a touch of the madness we saw in the Lamborghinis of a few decades ago. And you can feel that. There might be some people watching right now who could actually afford one of these things. And it's the job of you, me and everybody else to stand around and join together in a chorus. Do it, do it, do it.
Amazing looking film.
Crazy. Crazy but wonderful.
Amazing. Now, do you know which of the world's cities has placed the largest number of orders for this car?
No.
Wakefield.
Is it?
No, made that up. Is it really as fast as it looks, though, honestly?
Yes. Yes. You know the straight between Chicago and Hammerhead?
Yeah.
In this, it's not as long as you'd think.
Is
It's
it not?
There.
Is it not? You're talking relaxed. No,
It's just one corner. It's amazingly, insanely fast.
Well, now, obviously, we must find out how fast it goes round our track, and that, of course, means handing it over to our tame racing driver. Some say that we have at least thought of a new way of introducing him, but we haven't. It's the Stig! And he's off. Surprisingly gentle at first, but then the tyres light up and the spoilers spring into action. Right, OK, coming up to the first corner, and he's indicating. Seems a bit unnecessary, but he's keeping it all in shape. Just about. Should explain, since the Olympics, Stig has become obsessed with national anthems. Right, he's round Chicago, fires it toward Hammerhead. Hammond was right, that took no time at all. Squirmed under, braking, takes it easy through the left and right. Now, hard on the power. Did you hear those turbo wastegates fluttering? Now, follow through. Surely he can't use all the power there. He did. Dammer brakes as he passes the tyres, presumably with his left foot, or the middle one. Just 2 corners left. God, he's coming in fast. Steady Stig up to Gambon. He's very smooth through there and across the line. Right. Pagani.
Huayra.
It's a stupid name.
Why is it
Well,
stupid?
it doesn't have any consonants in it. Consonants are the meat of the language. If you didn't have consonants in your name, you'd be... and I'd be...
People have waited a long time for us to come back, and that's it.
Anyway, OK, the fastest car we've ever had round a track is the Ariel Atom V8, 115.1. Now, are you seriously suggesting that this is faster than that?
I'd say it's in with a shout of being as fast yet.
Well, you're wrong. Because the Pagani did it in 1:13.8.
Wait.
I am not... It's genuinely staggering.
Can't see that time being beaten ever, to be honest. Anyway, it is time to do the news, and it's good news because the Dacia Sandero is on sale in the UK and taking the nation by storm.
Great! Now, the Mercedes SLS, there it is. There's a new black version of it. There's a picture of it there, and it's yellow. It's got 60 more horsepower than the standard car. More speed, more violence.
Dear God, is the brochure written in bullet holes?
No, the brochure is carved into your face with a hunting knife.
Is it?
That's what they do.
I wonder if they've addressed the problem with the old one, which is that you could never get it sideways, could you?
No, this one doesn't go in a straight line. It's funny, actually, weirdly, a friend of mine has recently bought a Black Series Mercedes, and every time I see him, I say, how's it going? And he pretends it's great. It's fine! I'm really enjoying it. But you've aged 30 years in a week. No! I like it.
It's like saying, I've got a new attack dog, and it's great! You never know when it's going to attack, or who, and I love it! And that's what that is.
It's a big yellow attack dog.
It's very silly.
Now, may I talk about 50 Shades of Grey?
Really?
Can I just honestly just ask, who here has read it? Be honest, who here has read it? Yes? Yeah? We're noticing a trend. It's mainly a women thing, I'm guessing, yes? And men don't really have an equivalent until now, because I have found the male equivalent of 50 Shades of Grey.
Have you?
Tremendous tractors. Come on. You're going to love it the most.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you not read that?
Oh, it's all in here, isn't it? Spikes. These move through the ground to cover the seeds after they drop. This has chunky treads. Grip bumpy or slippery ground. This is absolutely marvellous.
Hammond, I think you're reading more into it than is actually there.
It cuts the stalks and threshes them to knock the grain right out. Oh, I'm a little flushed.
It's just a book about tractors, and the best thing is there's a series of them. There's dazzling diggers, amazing aeroplanes, enormous erections.
What?
I made that last one up.
Spreads the straw behind it as the grain spills from the spout. Oh, for farmland can be rough. I've gone somewhere else.
You've gone cross-eyed is what you've gone. Right, Volkswagen, OK? Volkswagen named the Touareg, which we've got a picture of here, the big 4x4, after the Touareg, the North African tribesmen, OK?
Yes, and it must have seemed like a very good name at the time, mustn't it? Because they're a tough, romantic, nomadic people. They're eking a simple living from the harsh desert.
Unfortunately, it turns out that today the Touareg are running guns from Libya into Mali and fighting there alongside hardline Islamists.
Yeah, I think we can be pretty sure there will be some high-level, very urgent meetings at VW this week.
Yes, they're not. Yes, they're certainly dropping plans now for the new hatchback, the Bader Meinhof.
Yes.
They're not in that anymore.
This van, the new VW Lord's Resistance Army, up it will strike it.
That's the one with the independent rear access, or IRA for short, isn't it? Yeah.
But if you think about it, you only need one letter to drop off the back of your Polo and you'll have a VW PLO.
It turns out every single Volkswagen is named after a terrorist organisation.
Right, there is a new Corvette out. Now, they've brought back the Stingray name. All new chassis, so it's got perfect 50-50 weight distribution, 450 brake horsepower from a 6.2-litre V8, which means 0 to 60 will be under 4 seconds.
And the best thing is it makes you 27% more attractive to your sister. Now, you know those dot matrix signs on motorways, the overhead gantries that are used to warn you of impending doom, OK? Well, sometimes there is no impending doom, so they put up other messages. Now, I was driving along the other day, and one said, "Have you prepared your car for winter?" And I thought, well, when I bought it from Mercedes, I rather hope they'd done that already. Into the heater.
Well, how exactly do you prepare your car for winter?
Well, we genuinely don't know. Does anybody have any ideas how you would prepare a car for winter?
Winter tyres. I mean, you could conceivably put winter tyres on, but you'd only need them for, what, half a day?
Yeah.
And they cost, like, 150 quid each. In the olden days, you probably did actually have to prepare your car for winter.
Yeah, no, perhaps that's the problem. The man writing the sign is stuck in 1953.
Yes.
Have you been moonlighting, writing signs?
Don't forget to lag your engine block with some stout canvas.
It was you. Can I direct you to your jacket?
I can see you looking. What?
Before you say I'm locked in 1953, Mr. Toad.
I'm the only modern one here.
Really? You may remember a while back on Top Gear, we met the Race to Recovery team, that group of injured soldiers who were planning to take on the toughest race in the world, the Dakar.
Yeah, I remember thinking, well, that's very noble, but it's impossible because, you know, Mark Thatcher, he had 4 functioning lenses, he never made it. So the idea they would was, in my mind, preposterous.
Well, the race was over 8,500 kilometres across South America. It took 2 weeks. 30% of the entrants didn't finish. But, and this is amazing news, last Sunday, they did, which is just... Philip Gillespie, Matt O'Hare and the rest of the team, deep respect from all of us here. That's an amazing...
Right, that is the end of the news, and I'd like to move things on swiftly now to the Bentley Continental. There are various versions available. You can have one with a top speed of 187, top speed of 194, or top speed of 198. But what if none of these top speeds are quite what you are after? Well, Bentley has a solution. And here it is, the Continental GT Speed. Now, this isn't to be confused with the previous Bentley Continental GT Speed, or the Bentley Continental GT Supersport, or in fact any other Bentley Continental that looks exactly the same as this one. No, this one is a bit special. What this is the fastest Bentley ever built, because it will do 205 miles an hour. It will also go from 0 to 60 in just 4 seconds. And to deliver that kind of performance, the standard issue 6-litre twin-turbo engine has been stoked to produce 616 horsepower. And to ensure that all that power is delivered in an orderly fashion, this car has been fitted with a new 8-speed automatic gearbox. To help it stand out next to a regular Continental GT, the Speed has been given a few signature flourishes, such as this black mesh radiator grille, these rifled exhausts, and inside, a gorgeous dark-tinted aluminium fascia. It costs just over £150,000. And at this point, you might be thinking, so what? Why do we need another fast Bentley anyway? I thought exactly the same, until I drove it. Up until now, every Continental GT has been, to my mind, just a sort of big posh car built to the numbers, built to an EC directive, if you like. But this car finally feels, I think, like a Bentley should. It's not the magnitude of the power that's important, it's the way it's turned into speed. You sort of get a discreet ahem from the butler, and then this big aristocratic whoomp in the kidneys. And the ride in a Bentley, I think, should be reasonably firm, but forgiving, supple, and that's exactly what you get here. You feel very much in control. You can read the road. through the wheels and through the steering wheel, but it doesn't batter you in any way. Likewise, that new 8-speed gearbox is an absolute peach. It's also intelligent. It will skip gears. It'll go from 4th to 8th, if that's what's required. The Continental has been around for 10 years now, and what this version feels like is a decade of engineering coming together to make something rather special. So to find out how good it really is, we decided to take it somewhere more demanding than a Welsh B-road. So, since it's got 4-wheel drive... Yes, we're going to unleash our £150,000 Bentley on a full-blown stage of the World Rally Championship. Specifically here, on a 15-mile stage of the grueling Welsh Rally. This is Top Gear consumer journalism. I've never driven a rally stage, and I'm not going to now. I'm giving the job to rally ace Chris Meek, who you may remember from our race between a rally car and Olympic gold medal Skelly Bob pilot Amy Williams. On that occasion, my job was to sit next to him and not look scared. Today, though, I would have to give Chris directions, which meant getting to grips with the mystifying world of pace notes.
Basically, the number before the R is the right.
Right.
The number is the severity of the bend. A 1 is a slight bend and a 6 is a real hard bend, so the numbers are graded 1 through to 6. The numbers between the corners is a distance, so your 40 is 40 metres. The C that you were calling is a crest, and the arrow is into, so that would be crest into 1 right over crest.
And how do I do this and look out of the window at the same time? What do I...
You don't look out. You have to feel the corners through your backside. So your brain needs to be 200 or 300 metres ahead of my driving.
If it goes wrong and we have a crash, who says sorry first?
First thing I'll do is check your pulse to see if you're still living, and then I'll ask you to apologise.
Besides the complexity of the pace notes, there was another worry. A World Rally car is purpose-built for the job. It weighs just 1,200 kilograms and has bespoke brakes to help it stop. Its gearbox is made to soak up the punishment. Its roll cage is designed to keep the occupants in one piece. By contrast, all we'd changed on our 2.3-ton Bentley was the seats.
Seats are good. I think that's good thinking, but most of the other things about this car are bad, aren't they, for rallying?
Yeah.
Too big.
A Bentley on a rally stage is a stupid idea. It's got all the horsepower you need to get it up to speed, but we're trying to stop 2.3 tons on road tyres, so we don't have the grip either.
And you haven't got the handbrake.
No.
Because you've got the electric handbrake, which is no good for...
No, it's not, but we just have to do a little man manoeuvring around the hairpins.
Are you a bit scared about driving this on a rally course?
I am a little bit. You should be even more scared.
And on those final words of comfort, we took our place on the start line.
You see that bloke's moustache there?
Yeah.
That tells me everything's going to be all right.
So if you count me down, if you do a 5.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... We're on. 4 right, 40.
You need a bit quicker, James, come on.
40 metres, 4 right.
Suddenly, I knew what it felt like to be a rabbit caught in the headlights.
Yeah, next left, James, come on.
Left plus 2 left.
James, I'm going to go off the road here, don't call the notes.
1 right.
1 right. Repeat.
3 right, and then 40 metres. 5 right into 6 left, then 40 metres. Into 5 right.
This is a 5 bit too late, James, come on.
Right, square right. Sorry, square left.
Whoa! James, either get it right or shut up.
The red mist had descended on Chris. A fog of doubt had enveloped me, but it seemed he wasn't going to back off.
Next note.
Start 1 right. What bloody hell? 4 right.
On the plus side, the Bentley's 4-wheel drive was superb. The power, phenomenal. And Chris was majestic. Especially in the tight bends, where the Bentley's electric parking brake was useless. Going into large hairpin right. As we move to the handbrake.
Yeah.
10 miles in, and I was giving Chris proper backup. 5 right, tightening to severe 6 right.
Okay. That's a bit better, James.
Through water. 40, 4 left.
Got it. Hold it, finish, James.
2 left, tightening. Man in road. 2 left, over a crest. Dangerous.
So, James May, the big question is, were you last?
No. We beat a proper WRC rally car by 2 seconds.
So you were second to last?
Yep. We were the first of the winners.
I have to say, though, obviously I'd like to mock you for your hopeless co-driving skills, but watching this on that rally circuit was a deeply impressive spectacle. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, it is a deeply impressive car, actually.
And it's weird, I've never been a fan of the Continental, but I drove the little V8 engine one last year, and I thought that was pretty good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, they have done a great deal to improve the car over the years. But the trouble is, they haven't really done anything to improve the people who buy them.
No, I mean, they do all that engineering work, and then they sell it to Mario Balotelli.
Exactly. Who?
I knew you didn't know. He's that Manchester City player with a blonde Brazilian on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it is now time to put a star in our reasonably priced car. My guest tonight is best known as a ginger man, who is intent on bringing suffering and misery to countless millions of innocent souls. Don't worry, I'm not talking about Mick Hucknall. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, from Homeland, Damien Lewis! Woohoo! You're here.
Thank you.
How are you? Good. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at that. I want to talk about Homeland, obviously. I know everybody wants to do that, but I keep reading that you don't know how it ends, but you must do, really.
Well, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. I don't know how it ends, because they don't know how it ends, and sounds, you know, a little avoiding to say that. But honestly, the writers write incredibly spontaneously. They're actually sitting down this week to work out what happens next season.
You're in a wood now.
It's a bit of a surprise. I'm still alive, I think.
Yeah.
So now they've got the headache of me still being alive. They've got to work out what to do with me.
Obama's a fan, isn't he?
The President of America is a huge fan and invited my wife and I to the White House.
You are kidding.
I sat convinced we would be sitting, you know, by the revolving doors, you know, just on the way to the toilet, you know, and be consistently being hit on the back of the head as old people went to pee. And then, actually, we sat at the table opposite him.
I tell you the programme I'm surprised you haven't been on yet is Match of the Day, because you're a big football fan, aren't you?
I do like a bit of footy, yeah.
You are a...
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Can I ask...
As you can tell from my deep Scouse accent.
Have you never played in one of those Pro-Am celebrity...
I've actually twice had the extraordinary experience of playing at Old Trafford in front of 70,000 people. And last time I played, actually, I was playing in the centre midfield for England against the rest of the world with Jamie Redknapp. So it was just me and Jamie marshalling midfield behind Shearer and Sheringham. And I clattered into Zizou, Zinedine Zidane, after about 15 minutes. And I didn't realise how angry he was, but Jamie Redknapp kept following me around the pitch going, Dane, calm down. And I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? He said, they haven't come to see you play. and then the 30th minute, in front of 75,000 people, what did Zidane do? He rolled his foot over the ball a few times, went to the touchline, stood there with the ball, looked up at me as I sort of came charging in like this, I'm going to tackle Zidane, looked at me and went, boop, poked it straight through my leg. To spontaneous laughter. I've never been laughed at by 70,000 people.
It would shrivel up and there'd be space to get it through the legs, that's for damn sure.
But it was an amazing experience.
Cars.
Cars.
I gather your first car was Alfa Romeo.
Yes, it was. I mean, it wasn't a Spider. It wasn't a sexy Alfa Romeo. I bought my Alfa Romeo for £1,000 on a forecourt in Balham High Road.
No.
Yeah. And it wasn't even at a car dealership. It was like a junk shop with 4 cars in front of it, just lined up on the pavement.
I used to live in Balham, and I know exactly. You bought an Alpha from that man.
Literally just off the pavement. He was pulling out of the car park at the Royal Shakespeare Company, where I'd been working for a couple of years. I put my foot to the brake, went straight to the floor, and I just rolled out straight across the road, bang, into the opposite wall.
Because normally the Alfa Romeo prevents that happening by breaking down on the way to the Royal Shakespeare Company. So if you'd gone through the woe and the misery of a very, very unreliable car, presumably your next one was more sensible, more reliable.
It was a TVR.
There you go. Which one?
The Chimera.
See, TVR stands for Total Vehicle Reliability. Which I
It's amazing fun, though, a
Oh, they
TVR,
are.
when you get it going and you throw it around the country lanes.
But I thought you were a bike man more than cars.
I did. Well, I have had motorbikes. I went and got my test and then totally fell in love with the ultimate hairdresser's chopper bike, which was the Yamaha Virago 1000cc high handlebarred.
Oh, a sort of an easy rider bike.
Yeah, it was an easy chopper style.
A chopper bike.
Quite,
Did you never fall off a bike? Because that's what would stop me getting on one, is the terrible pain that would result.
No, I did. I had a couple of prangs, and then I had a bad one just outside Pentonville Prison on the Caledonian Road when a cabbie pulled out, and I was straight into his windscreen and was out cold. Woke up in a sort of cinematic cliche of a circle of faces. So it was just like as I came to, and also to feel this really hard grip on my wrist, and that's the first thing I remember. Just thinking, oh, that doesn't feel good. Someone's really holding on to me tight. Turned out the guy who was in the back of the taxi was a male nurse from the Royal Free Hospital who'd taken a taxi because he was pissed. He then said to me later, he said, it was good I managed to get you into the recovery position. And I said, yeah, but why were you holding on to my wrist so hard? And he said, because I couldn't tell if you were actually dying or if I was just too pissed I couldn't find your pulse. So it's just like, where the fuck is this? My God, come back! Holding on to me.
Because normally these days when people have accidents, the first thing they see is somebody videoing them.
That is today's version, isn't it?
It is today's version.
Yeah, just 10 iPhones.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, you came here to do your lap.
Yes.
Which wasn't easy. The sight that greeted us this morning, let's have a look at the pictures we've got here. This is our track. That is what, yeah, with light sleet. So, realistically, we're never going to set the fastest time.
You know, it's quite nerve-wracking coming to do this for the first time. You think, what's my limit? At what point do I just follow through a bit, you know? And will that be on the first corner? And when I saw the weather, it was oddly relaxing.
So you're thinking, well, now I can't win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then I thought, and then everyone was going, oh, it's going to be great fun. It's quite icy out there. You'll be able to lose the back end and throw it around a bit. I was going, how do you know I'm going to be able to do any of that?
Well, who'd like to see him doing a bit of that? Yeah. These are some of the practice laps. Let's just run the tape here. Now, this is the follow-through. The fastest, but that's pretty ballsy, and yeah, I wouldn't want to go off there because you're pretty fast. What is that? Second to last corner? Yeah. Well held. Is it well held? Yes, it is well held. And that one is... I do like your determination to keep going.
Just with the camera.
More rally driving, I think, today. Very good, though. Eventually, you did manage to get a lap in, yes?
Yes, yes.
Who here would like to see that?
I do.
Let's go.
And they're off!
Are determined. So coming up to the first corner, just wet there, nothing much to worry about. Now there's something to worry about. Ooh, that seems slightly scary when back does that.
Keep it on the throttle, Damo.
Look at that! Change gear now! Now! Braking's not easy into the hammerhead at the best of times in those conditions. Oh, a dab of handbrake. I see a dab of handbrake there and a bit of under change gear.
The Scandi flick, I believe.
It was a Scandi flick.
No racing driver should have to put his windscreen wipers on. I mean, do you know what I mean?
No, that is, well, in the world of rallying, that's quite normal. I wouldn't want to be going over there at anything more than... And can he make it all the way through the tyres? Yep. And back into the fast bit. Now, can he get to the second last corner right? Yes. No. Yes. Into Gambon. Looking good. Oh, no. No.
That's a lot of fun.
does look like a lot of
It
fun.
was a lot of fun. It was terrific.
So, where do you think you've come?
See,
So far, the slowest man we've ever had round here was John Prescott. In a 1:56.7.
yes.
Damien Lewis, you did it in 2 minutes. 9 seconds. 0.1. But... should we have a separate board for snow? So I think you're the fastest person we've ever had in the snow. So we'll put you up there. Hey! It's good. I have to say, actually...
It's great.
I do have to say, that is the slowest lap we've ever had down the Top Gear test track. But, and I'm sure everyone will agree with me on this, by far and away the most entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, Damien Lewis!
Now, so far in this programme, James has been rallying in a £150,000 Bentley, and I've raced around our track in an £800,000 Pagani. So someone's got to bring it all back down to earth.
Yes, and unfortunately, that person is Jeremy.
Yes, as usual, it falls to me to be the voice of reason and common sense. With this, the Peel P50, the smallest car ever made. Until now. Because I have created, behold, this. Now, I know, incredulity is often the first response, but let me talk you through it. Because underneath the handcrafted aluminium bodywork, OK, you have the engine and the running gear from a quad bike. But you will note it has lights and indicators and a number plate. It's passed all the government tests, which means you can drive it on the road.
Are you seriously suggesting that that is an actual car?
I promise it's a real car.
What's it called?
Ah, well, that's brilliant. Because it's shorter and narrower than a Peel P50, I've called it the P45. And now, I'm going to test it.
What? You're going to test a car that you built?
Yes.
So what are we going to do next week, then? VW tests its new Golf.
Shut up. I'm going to be completely unbiased, as you shall see. I began on the track. And having determined very quickly that the P45 was exquisite in every way, I took it onto the public highway. Now, I should make it plain, this is the base L model that I'm driving now, but there are some optional extras. Nothing wrong. Edit that out. There is, for instance, the deluxe wash-wipe option, which costs just £1.99. Good. And also, for just £500, this does come with satellite navigation. There's the sat-nav, you see, you just hold it up, see where you're going. The P45 is designed to deal with all eventualities. I'm relaxed. So I decided to join the main road. Yes, look at this, very brilliant. Ah! Oh my God! If you're watching this in the edit, make sure that doesn't go on television. I don't want people thinking it's a death trap. Ah! It happened again! Let me edit that out as well. I can't believe how quiet the roads are this morning. I'm barely seeing any traffic at all. As I neared Guildford, I did find a jam, but this was no problem for the super narrow P45. The speed machine is coming through. Nothing wrong. Oh, yes. This is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the birth of the future. I'm just staggered that Ford, General Motors, Toyota, all the automotive giants haven't thought to make a car like this, and yet a pokey little motoring show on BBC... Ow! This is the way to drive the P45, I've just decided, with your face already on the windscreen, and then it can't sort of smash into it. So, for local commuting, my car is faultless. But what if you want to go further afield? Well, to find out, I pulled into a petrol station and without even getting out, I brimmed its tank. Good. Damn! I only have a 1.7 litre fuel tank, but the minimum delivery here is 2 litres. Discreetly, I squirted the difference into a bin. Let's see. Then I fired up the 2-stroke 100cc engine and set off to London. Technically, I'm legally allowed to drive the P45 on motorways and dual carriageways. So to see how it gets on, I'm about to join the fearsome A3. Here we go. I've never been frightened of a Citroen Picasso before, and it just was. Man! I'm gonna weave on. Oh, yes, help me! Help! Help! How fast is that now? 34! Ah, lorry! Oh, a lot of poo shot out, man! So, while this may be completely legal, it's also completely terrifying. However, the advantage of a car this small is that you don't have to take it on dual carriageways. In fact, you don't have to use the main roads at all. What you do instead is you drive it to the railway station, but instead of leaving it in the car park to be vandalised and stolen, you take it on the train with you. Now, I will be honest, none of the train companies we contacted would play ball, so I'm using the coach instead. Coach is good. Coach is better than a train. Fewer diseases on a coach. And of course, when you get to the big city, you don't have to use the tube or the bus because you have your car with you. Oh dear. Just cut the cameras. In London, I went for a little drive. Yes. All sorts of hand signals available. I can go, if I want to go left, right, somebody annoys me. And then I went shopping. And with the P45, there's no need to pay. Or waste time looking for a parking space. Oh dear. Now, of course, a P50 also fits in a lift, but because it has no reverse gear, you can't back it out again, unless there's a newsreader to hand. This, though, does have a reverse gear. So, here we go. Beep, 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 beep. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way you'd be allowed to drive around here with a 2-stroke engine belching fumes into the faces of all the baby children. But here's the thing, you see, the P45 is a hybrid. So when you come inside, you can disconnect the petrol engine and connect up a couple of electric motors. Very simple job. You simply take off a wheel, connect a freewheeling hub. I mean, it takes a couple of guys minutes. There are a couple of drawbacks. Number one, the top speed is now 3 miles an hour. And number two, the batteries will only last an hour. But I'm a man, and I can't think of any shopping expedition that could possibly take longer than that. Shoes, I've got some. I don't need any of those. I've got a chair. There's nothing I want to buy. Eventually, I bought a present for James. And then I decided to find out just how quiet my car is in electric mode. So I took it here. This is extraordinary. Nobody's looking up, nobody's noticing me. The only trouble is that libraries are more interesting than shopping centres. Whoa, the history of Germany. Can't be that big just to say we lost a lot. An hour simply flew by. Get out of the way, student. And soon the batteries were flat. Oh, no. No.
If this were a P50, I could simply pick it up and carry it out. But I'm afraid the P45 is a bit heavier, but a lot heavier. Weighs a ton. Oh. There's only one thing for it. This is so embarrassing. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry, really. I'm so sorry.
That night, I was due to go to a show.
Oh, yes. Stupid idiot.
And as I was running late, I decided to take a shortcut.
Look here, cyclists not allowed. Good. I'm not a cyclist, so here I come. Hello, posing foot. Come on, quickly. I'm really sorry.
Soon I was in the West End. And nearing the theatre.
This is the joy of a P45. Everything is a drive-through.
Hello. One, please. Thank you very much. Oh.
There you go.
The show was ace.
Not a single gay man on that stage.
However, my seating arrangements were a bit cramped. The next morning, it was clear to me that the P45 was completely excellent. But would it make commercial sense to put it into production? To find out, I'd set up an important business meeting.
To make sure I look my best, I'm wearing a suit, as you can see. And I washed my hair, and now I'm going to give the car a wash and brush up as well. Now, here we go, yes. Ah, it's not warm, it's extremely cold. Oh, yes, people pay many pounds for this in countries. Oh, that's gone quite badly. What's happened here? There's a terrible thing has happened. No, there's a bad thing has happened. I've got completely wedged.
With the P45 untangled, I headed off to my big business meeting. First of all, I'd like to apologise for my wet sleeves and my bloodshot eye. I got soap in it. We'll gloss over that. Cars are getting bigger these days. Got a picture here of an original Ford Cortina, which I'm sure you won't remember, Deborah. and a modern Mondeo, which is bigger. And it's the same story with the Golf, and it's the same story with the Fiesta, and it's ridiculous when we live in a country as cramped and as overcrowded as ours. So cars really should be getting smaller, and that is where this comes in. This is my creation, the P45. Now, the idea is you can drive this to a railway station, and then you pop it on the train or a coach or whatever, go to the next city, and then you can use it there as well. It's road legal.
Can I just make sure, because I think I might have missed something here. You started apologising why your arms were wet and then didn't explain why.
Because they've got water on them.
I actually do travel back and forward from the West Country on the train. You say you can take that with you. That looks quite big to get on
That's
the train.
because train companies put seats in their carriages, which, of course, they needn't do with this. If you just produced a carriage, you could drive in and just sit there. In it.
Hold on a minute. So at the moment, you can't get it on a train?
Not as such.
No. So you've got to rely on the train companies redesigning their trains for you to get this on the train?
Well, redesigning is quite easy. Just take the seats out.
OK,
yeah, Jeremy, is this your first business venture?
Yes.
And what would it cost one of these on the road?
£8,000.
£8,000. What would you make them for?
It'll cost $4,000 to build.
By children, or are you going to get adults?
Can you really get children to work in a factory? Because that would be brilliant if you could.
Jeremy has asked if he could get children to work in a factory.
You must come and have a look.
Theo Paphitis decides to take a closer look.
Jeremy, it's shit.
It isn't.
It is. Totally
What is it?
and utter shit.
Theo Paphitis thinks Jeremy's car still needs work.
Well, I don't understand why you're not seeing what I'm seeing here.
No,
You're
we are, Jeremy. Can I just say, I can see exactly what you're looking at. It's just that I can see that it's loopy and you can't.
How much of your money have you invested in this?
Absolutely none at all.
That is the best thing that you've done yet.
Do you have a plan? Do you have any financial protection? Do you have any idea the size of the market, how you're going to sell it to that market?
Yes.
So, size of the market.
1,600 a month.
1,600 a month?
Or a year.
Well, Jeremy, I'm going to make you an offer.
That's the ticket.
£1 for 1%.
Why would anybody buy this?
Got stripes on it.
I couldn't invest in you. I'm sorry, I'm out.
Jeremy, I have to say one thing. It is the smartest I've ever seen you. So congratulations for that. You've made clearly a real effort. However, I can't invest in ridiculous things. So on that basis, Jeremy, I'm going to have to tell you I'm out.
Jeremy, it's rubbish. It's useless. You're wasting your time. I can't invest in this. So I'm out.
Theo Paphitis is out, which means Jeremy's only chance is Duncan Bannatyne.
Well, Jeremy, I'm the last dragging in, and I tried to tempt him by making an offer, hoping they would come in with me.
Sorry, I can't understand a word you're saying.
That is, I'm out.
Jeremy has insulted Duncan Bannatyne, and now he too is out. All the Dragons have given him his P45.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm unbowed by their negativity. I mean, how can they not realise this is a car you never need to park? You can go to the theatre in it, you can go shopping in it, your arms are free, so you can reach things from the shelves you never need. Get out of it.
Which is ironic, because the very first thing anyone is going to want to do upon getting in is get out of it.
And it's a death trap.
I feel like Vincent van Gogh.
What, you've only got one ear?
No, nobody recognised his genius until after he died.
So what you're saying is, for this to be a commercial success, you have to be dead.
Yes. And on that bombshell, it is time to end. Thank you very much for watching. They'll see you next week. Good night.